So the actor I went with is Matthew McConaughey. When he was first learning his process, he got a part as David Wooderson in the movie Dazed and Confused back in 1993. It was very much an impromptu, like improv role. He remembers other actors throwing out lines at him, as he states in an interview that he did with a series called Free Talks by the Film Society. It's on YouTube. So that's what he got used to, and then he took a little bit of a hiatus, and then he moved to LA, studied with a coach named Penny, who kind of taught him more about method acting, and he eventually landed a role in the movie Scorpion King, where he played a drug lord on a Mexican border. That was in 1996. So he tried to use his improv from back in his days of Dazed and Confused. He tried to use that in the movie and realized that was a mistake when he showed up, and the first thing that he had to do was read a page and a half of a script that was a monologue, and it was in Spanish, and he didn't know any of it. So that's when he realized that he really had to do his due diligence and find a good balance between studying too much as an actor and using improv too much. And that's what led him into his process of he really likes to, when he lands a role, he likes to do as much research on that character as he can, but the first thing he likes to do is get their monologue and read that, and that's how he really figures out who his character is and becomes that character, and then he gets the rest of the dialogue and more information and background on that character, and that's what completes his character. He says that what he values the most is the process of the work. He really loves the creation of his films, and you can see that very much in his acting. I would say the movie that stood out to me that he really used maybe a little to the extreme method acting was in the movie The Dallas Buyers Club, where he plays a real-life AIDS patient who was importing and selling antiviral medication that had not been approved by the FDA at that point. So for this role specifically, he lost 50 pounds. So he was about 130 pounds for a guy who's 6 foot. That's pretty thin, as you can very much see if you've seen the movie. He also spoke to that man's family members, where they were able to provide him with diaries, and then also just some taped interviews with him, so that he could truly learn and become this character. Some other movies that I couldn't really find a lot of, maybe like method, as in like I didn't see that he lost a ton of weight. He didn't really, I couldn't find a lot of that kind of information, but the movie Mud, that was the first drama role that I ever saw him in that took me out of the mindset of just seeing him in rom-coms, where I just thought he was, the funny guy, the cute guy in the rom-coms. In that movie, he was much more serious, and I didn't know that I'd be able to believe that character because of what he'd previously been in. But I very much could. He pulled it off so well. He truly became that character so much that I did not see those rom-coms after that, those versions of him. So I don't know that they have truly changed my view of him, like learning this and seeing those movies, except that, maybe now I just see him, he's even more of a great actor than I already thought he was, because I liked him in those rom-coms, but now I love him from the drama movies that he's played in.